And I'm going to say something in Spanish, and is that a network, it's very different from what we say in Spanish, rosca. La rosca es buena, lo malo es no estar dentro de la rosca. That's what they say, right? But it's very different. If you can think of networking as not a rosca, because it's not about, like, oh, I'm going to get this job because you're my friend. That's not the purpose of a network. The purpose is really to connect, to learn, to help each other. And sometimes you don't even know the information. Like if I have a friend who works at the University of Nariño and they're looking for teachers, I don't know that that's an opportunity because I don't know anyone from the university and I don't have access to that information. And so, like, when you are in a network, you get to share with other people, and that could open up a lot of opportunities that you may not be aware of. Me in my work, for example, with TESOL International Association, like, I interviewed this person from the Department of State of the United States, and she said, like, they have a lot of programs for teachers, and they work with American embassies, and sometimes some of these things are by nomination, so they need to know you. You need to you need to share and be connected with the network. And something that I've learned too is that this is, ELT, English teaching, is a huge field because there are people all over the world who work in this area. But that is true, but it's also true that it's very, very small. Like you will be surprised as, like, like, all of a sudden you meet a teacher from another place or whatever, and you are connected somehow. Like, you have a type of friend in common, something like that. And so that also means that if you are working, for example, at the University of Nariño, you want to make sure that you do a great job, because you don't want to burn the bridge, is what they say in English, the expression. Meaning, you don't want to, like, do something wrong and then, like, close that door, because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. People change, people switch careers. Maybe your best friend is now the dean of this university in 10 years. You don't know. And so, like, it's really important to think about networks. And one of my research interests is actually social network analysis. And so I want to talk about that in a minute. And the other thing is that a network is different from the rosca, which is nepotism. That's the word. Nepotism is when you favor your friends or your family for certain jobs or whatever, even when they're not qualified, or even when they're not the best candidate for that job. And that is a huge problem, number one, because it is not fair. Like, I'm sure you've seen that, like, oh, why is this person even in that position when, they don't even know what they're doing? And so it's not fair, number one. Number two, it makes it hard to, for social mobility. Like if you are born in certain socioeconomical status, like, it's really hard for you to open up and to get an opportunity because you don't belong to those families, or you don't belong to whatever Broska is. And number three, and I forgot number three, so I'll tell you in a minute because I don't know where I was going with that. But my point is that there are many reasons why you want to join a network, and it's not about nepotism. Okay, number three, I remember now, is that for a company, and this is a huge problem in America and in many places, nepotism is actually a really bad practice. Why? Because they're not getting the best people they can get. When you get a job, like, yes, they pay you, yes, you get some benefit, but really the one who gets the most benefit is your employer, like, because they get to use their talents. And so they want to make sure that whoever they are hiring is the best possible candidate for that job, the person that is more qualified, and so if you favor your friend, then they're losing. They're that's not good for companies. And so, for example, I work in the UK right now, and so the pandemic has been horrible for all of us. You guys know that. Like, we've had so many issues with the pandemic, but it has also opened some opportunities, especially in terms of remote work and remote collaboration. And so, for example, the company where I work in the UK is a company that is in the UK. It was remote before the pandemic, and they have, like, a international payroll. Like, there's a platform. It is called Lit Deal. And so it is a platform that allows them to hire internationally. So you don't have to worry about visas. You need to, I work in the UK, but I don't have a visa for the UK. So they are able to hire you wherever you are, if you are the best candidate for that particular job, right? And so it is really great. And I think that's becoming a trend in so many places. And maybe, who knows, maybe that will become more, of a possibility in the near future.